Well, that's eBay parts for you. Fitment, kind of. A little bit of modification needed. So, first off, the fitment, I mean, it's got a little bow to it. This is like the only valance I could find for this bumper, and I thought that, you know, it's going to look good because it's lower. That's going to make it look lower in the front. So I went with that. Comes with this bolt and like this bracket here, and same on that side. One of them wasn't in it when I got it. I found it in the box. Then I had to drill new holes on both sides to get that to fit. Then I also had to drill new holes underneath to get those in. And then I'm gonna have to, these holes line up right here. If I push this down, yeah. And this one is almost lined up, so I might be able to get that one in. This one over here lines up, doesn't it? Is that? No, it doesn't line up at all. And this one lines up. So I'm going to have to drill more holes in it to get it on there, but it kind of fits. And it looks decent, so we're going to roll with that. I just wanted to see how it fit, and not pleased at all. So, you know, I said we was going to see Nickelback again. So even though we didn't get to see them the whole show in Ocean City, it was like, well, we're going to see them at Rock the Country in York. So that was yesterday. So we went. Terrible storms were coming. So they pushed the shows fast to get them through so they could get everybody in that night. It was Travis Tritt right before Nickelback, and he was supposed to originally play from, I think, 8 to 9, and then Nickelback was supposed to come on at 9:30. Travis Tritt got done at 7, so it was 7 o'clock. I'm like, all right, we're going to get to see this. And it started raining during Travis Tritt, and it was kind of mild rain, a little heavy, but we had ponchos, so we stayed for that. Then they were still playing music. Then the music stopped, and it came up on the screen that they were pausing the show due to lightning in the area. Nobody there saw lightning. Nobody heard lightning. It wasn't even close, and the rain was mild at that time. So at like 7:15, they put it on pause. So we waited because it wasn't bad. We're like, oh, they have to start this back up. And I'm looking at the weather and I'm like, oh, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. We stayed there until about 8:45. And that's when the rain, when the sky opened up. So from 7 until 8:45, they had time there where they could have got them out there and played, but they didn't. They held it off. And they said that lightning was in the area, seek shelter. So they didn't really do much. They were just saying seek shelter. And there was tornado warnings. So we stayed until 8:45 when the skies opened up, and then lightning started hitting. And we're like, okay, we're going to the car. We went to the car, got in the car, sat there. There was a bunch of other people there. We waited maybe 15 minutes, and I looked at the radar, and I'm like, it's not looking good. And some of the staff even told us that the show was going to be canceled. So, like everybody else there, we decided we might as well go. We're not going to get to see Nickelback. They're probably going to play tomorrow, and we weren't going to be there for it. So, another thing was they were forcing us out, because before we left the show to go out to the car, I went to go to the bathroom there, and they had all the bathrooms locked and would not let anybody in the bathrooms. And in the tents they pushed everybody out of the tents and told them they weren't allowed under the tents, that they needed to go outside the venue to seek shelter, and they were not allowing re-entry. So when we left, we weren't allowed to re-enter. At that point, we left. So till we got out of that parking lot stuff, we hit the road maybe about 9:30. Got back to our hotel at 9:45. It was actually pretty close. We got to the hotel, and about 9:50, we got a notification that they were going to be opening gates soon. It was pouring down rain. There were still tornado warnings at this time. I mean, it was hammering. We're like, what the heck? Like, they just told, like, a bunch of the staff told us that they were canceling the show, and I bet you more than half the people left. So we decided we weren't going back because we were covered in mud. It was deep mud. It was in a field, so it was thick. Our shoes were soaked, muddy. I'm like, we're back to hotel now. I'm not going back. And I said, I don't think they're going to play anyways. They did, in fact, play. They came on at 10:30 at night. They were supposed to come on at 9:30 originally. But from 7 until 10:30, they postponed it. And then they came out and played a short set and left. So, yeah, we didn't get to see Nickelback. So, oh, well, maybe another year. Sorry, I'm complaining. It's just like, it sucked. And you know why I think they pushed them to play? I got online on their Facebook page, and everybody was complaining about not getting to see Nickelback, and they wanted a partial refund and stuff. And, like, I think that they forced them out there to play so they didn't have to refund anybody. So, yeah, that's kind of crappy. But anyways, I need to get chomping on this thing. I need to start sanding the whole door, but I got to tape stuff up first. So I got to tape that A-pillar up because the paint chipped, and I got to repaint some of that. So we're going to do that. I'm going to sand the door. I need to tape the glass and the cab since it's painted. This side I already had taped, and I think what we're going to do is we're getting these doors ready because I already did some body work there with some primer, but there's so many levels of paint there, and to get it a nice finish on that, I need to get it really level. And I have this thick spray-on primer. I've never used it before, but we're going to try it on these doors. So I'm going to get this door probably already ready for it. I don't know. I'll sand it with a little bit more coarse sandpaper, but I need to get the rest of this and get this all sanded up and do a little bit of body work on the fender right there. The other side of that fender needs some body work. And this door I never even started on, so that's why I need to get taping around here and around the other ones so that I don't mess up my good paint. I'm kind of glad that I'm doing the fuel injection on this thing now because it takes forever to start every time. And then these fans I got from a sponsor, and they came with a thermostat that's supposed to control it. I think that thermostat went bad already. That's I think a 190 or something thermostat. It's supposed to open up. This thing was at like 220. And the fans still weren't kicking on, so I grounded it, which is what that's supposed to do, and they're running fine now, full tilt. But I know with the fuel injection kit, there's also a thermostat that runs to the computer with that whole system, and then that computer will control both these fans separately, and they'll also do a low and a high speed. All that does is either the fans are on or they're off. So it's high speed all the time. So that computer is going to control my fans and everything, and it'll be better. And I'm also putting a normal I put a colder thermostat in because the fans were kicking on a lot because the thermostat was like a 190 plus that's a 190, so it was always getting up to temperature where the fans would kick on, the thermostat was opening and stuff. So I put a colder thermostat in. I think it's a 165. And yeah, so that's, I got a Gates 190 thermostat we're going to be putting in, and a block off for the fuel pump down there. So that'll be gone. And then the thermostat that comes with the fuel injection kit will be going in where that one's at right now. So yeah, I temporarily grounded it myself. It works. I'm just gonna leave that there. I might use it again. Now I have disconnected it and my fans are still running. So now it's working. What is going on? If you don't remember, our interior is done. Oh, except for I had to tear the door panels apart to do everything, but I put that in there so I can see that it's charging good now. But all my gauges up here now work again too. So I do have all of these up here. Plus I replaced every gauge with LEDs so they all light up bright. I should have put a tack in this thing, but there's gonna be a tack on it. Oh, now we got the low. When I put that computer screen in, it's gonna go right here and it's gonna have a tack readout, speedometer, and all the goodies are all gonna be on that screen. That's kind of excited for that. And I forgot I put my light switch here for my interior lights. So, which are controlled by the stereo. I can control the color, or whatever color I want them to be. All right, I'm done ranting now. Let me, let's get sanding on these doors.
Have you ever walked a high pass, watched the northern lights flash, took a photograph on a Paris street? Have you ever climbed a tall tree, asked someone for mercy, gave something away that wasn't free? I don't wanna get a vision of you stuck in my head, because I know that you were meant to be wilder. Another night of television while you're lying in bed, it's slowly gonna be the death of you. Have you ever really lived? You talk a big game, but it's just a matter of time. Have you ever really lived? We're all on the clock here. In the blink of an eye, you're gone. So for once in your life, try the deeper water, feel the pull of whatever is out there, and ask yourself this once. Have you ever really lived? Have you ever used your hands to build something from scratch that wasn't even for you? Have you ever? When you hear the waves are crashing over Nazareth, man, don't you wanna see them? And I don't wanna get a vision of you stuck in my head, 'cause I know that you were meant to be wild. Not a television while you're stuck in your head. Is that really how it's gonna be? Have you ever really lived? You talk a big game, but it's just a matter of time. Have you ever really lived? We're all on the clock here. In the blink of an eye, you're gone. So for once in your life, try the deeper water, feel the pull of whatever is out there, and ask yourself this once. Have you ever really lived? Be honest now. Just be honest. Is this really how you wanna live? And if you don't, it ain't too late to turn it around. Be honest now.
So I have been sanding for like a straight hour. And this is where I'm at. And I'm still working on it. And the hardest part about doing all this body work like I'm doing it is that it's hard to protect areas that you've already done. So, like, I think I might have sanded through the tape over here on accident. I haven't peeled the tape off to look at it yet, but there's a possibility. And the reason why I'm sanding this as far as I am is you can see that yellowish stuff on there. I don't know if that's primer or what that is, but the layer that was right above that is flaking off whenever I get down low, so it's not adhering to that yellow part. Now, up here, it doesn't appear that they put any of that yellow primer up in this top area, so just sanding it is fine up here. It's gripping fine, but down here, as you can see, my line there, you can feel that edge on there. But when I sand that, now here I'll show you, because you'll watch, see it coming off, and you see it kind of flakes off. It doesn't just sand off. That whole layer comes off. I know if I don't sand that layer off, there's a potential I'm gonna have the same issue that I had up here where a chunk of it came off. Now this is gonna get painted the way it is here, but I'm gonna blend right there. I didn't want to come up too far, but there's a lot of work to do, and I don't want to waste my film just sanding this whole door. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this door out. Good thing is, if I do have to like touch up this part of the cab, there's a line right here. I'm horrible with the camera right now. The good thing is there's a line right here where the roof meets the pillar here, and I can blend or try to blend it and spray this over here, and it might look okay. So anyways, I'm going to finish this out, and then I'll get back to you guys. All right, so finally got this thing sanded up. Like I said, don't need to go through that coat up here, because whatever this yellow stuff is down here that it was not sticking to is not up top. But I got that all sanded, got this sanded because it's getting painted body color. Same on the other side. This is scuffed, and I need to scuff it up a little higher because it's going to get clear. But I need to scuff that with some finer sandpaper, because it's just going to get some clear there. Actually, I should go up a little higher now that I'm looking at that. Yeah, I'm going to go up a little higher just because I'm going to leave myself a large blend area. That way I can, it'll be easier to blend it and not get a flat line like that. So yeah, we'll do that. This is pretty good. Now every spot that I marked, let me make sure. I want to make sure there wasn't. There was a couple rust spots underneath, and I sanded them down pretty good. But that was like these areas. There's a couple here. It wasn't. It was just like a little bit of surface rust that was underneath everything. So I tried to sand all that out. Every X I marked is body work that needs done. This, I don't know. This has been here. Didn't even notice it, but they're like really deep areas there. I mean, it's going to get filled with putty, so it is what it is. Over here, this is just a little bit here that needs done, and I knew this needed done because I messed this up whenever I was trying to get this gap a little closer, before I realized it's just these junk fenders that I put on. Remakes, don't get those. If you want them to fit right, try to find a good use set. That's why we're rolling with these doors. They're good used sets, and they probably were from this truck originally. I don't think they were changed. I have to retape everything before I do spray again, but let me get out the stuff that I got. So I got this U-Pole high build primer. Never used it. Price was okay-ish. This is heavy. Like, that is heavy. That's heavier than filler. But it says 30 minutes. Oh, okay. Depending on the temperature. If it's 140 degrees out, 30 minutes. If it's 68 degrees out, 3 to 4 hours before you sand it, I'm guessing. I need to see how surface prep degreaser. What all can it be applied to? That's what I want to know. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Can be applied directly to metal over most prepared plastics, aluminum, galvanized, and unsanded E-coat. Okay, so this is what I thought I was going to have to do, self-etching primer and then throw this on. But this says direct to bare metal. That's awesome. So we'll be we will be spraying this. Man, is there lead in that thing? But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do this little bit of body work here we'll get some clips of that. I don't think there's any more on this fender. Let me make sure before I get into it. I don't think there's any more on this fender that needs done. The other side we're going to experiment with, because I'm not sanding it down like that because I've already done body work on it. And I don't want to do that. Oh, okay. See, this side was different. There was paint underneath that. Yeah, okay, I see what I did, and I sanded through most of that coat. It wasn't sticking to that yellow coat. And you can feel it. It's the same on this side. So I'm going to have to sand the bottom of this door to get under that yellow layer. Body work was done here. Yes, my failed attempt of trying to get these to line up with, we're rolling with that because this fender just would not fit any better. Oh, it looks horrible right now because the door's not shut. So yeah, that's, it probably looked like that line was horrible. It's not that bad. And then I ended up cracking this down here. So we're just gonna sand through that again. I think I did body work the whole way down across here. I don't know, but okay, not as much sanding work. And then I don't know what I scuffed this with, but I need to scuff this whole door again because I'm spraying this one too with that high build primer because I want to block sand these, and hopefully get them somewhat straightened out. But whenever I sand this, I'll be able to see if there's anything else that needs body work. I might have used coarse enough sandpaper. I see the scratches in it. I don't think this thing's gonna be perfect when it's done. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm trying my best, kids. My body work, I'm still learning. I'm getting there, but I'm definitely still learning. So it's not like, I don't say I'm a professional with anything because I'm not. I got a little bit of body work to do right here. I might go ahead and hit that with some 80 grit so we can get some body fill on that and get these areas body filled over here, and then I'll get over there, and seeing as how I don't have to sand it as much, then we'll get these doors prepped and get this primer. I wonder if I can even do that. I might be able to do that today. I wasn't planning on doing it today, but there's a possibility I could get that in. Let's get some filler out, go to town. And if it looks like I'm having a painful time, it's because I am. I don't know what it is about this truck. I sat there and debated about, instead of doing the body work, jump into that fuel injection system and put on this, but no. I need to put that off. I need to get this paint work done. So, tally ho. So anytime you're optimistic and you give yourself a timeline where you're like, oh yeah, I think I can do that today. Don't do it. Don't do it. Add a week to whatever you think you can do it in, because that's at least how much longer it's going to take you. So that was 2 days worth of body work and stuff. Yeah. So here we are. I'm going to have to run this into next weekend. Yeah. So we are going to be getting that primer on there. I still have to do the other door. I still have to tape up, mask the truck, and stuff like that, so I can put that thick build primer on here. But I got a new gun to spray that. I'm kind of excited to use it, but it's a siphon feed gun, and it's supposed to be good for primer. It's got a bigger tip. I think it's 1.7, but it's got the canister on the bottom of the gun, and it's supposed to be good for doing primers and stuff like that. So we're gonna give it a shot. Okay. It's a Spectrum gun. It's like the one I use for clear coat, but instead of gravity feed, siphon, bigger tips. Okay, it's a lot different. It's completely different. But anyways, the door feels good now. I body worked every imperfection that I could find, which we might find more later after we do the primer and then block sand it. I'm sure. But yeah, after we get that high build primer on here, I will sand everything with at least a 320. I normally do 400. So that's what my cousin Jerry would always say. He said if you're going to be painting at least 400 grit, I see a lot of people do 320. 400 gives you a little buffer there. 320, if you get something gunked up in the pad or whatever and it starts putting swirls on there, they'll show up in your paint. So this was all sanded with 80 grit. I probably should have had like 36 grit or something like that to knock it down a lot faster, but we're just going with what I got here, and without ordering stuff. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going in for the day. I'll see you guys next weekend. Same video. Well, I'll see you back on the C10 tomorrow, but right now I have a task to do because I have sold something. I think I did. He's supposed to come tomorrow morning. Okay, I haven't actually sold it yet. So I got all of this junk here. I sold the whole engine from the Cadillac back there. I need to get it out because I sold it. So I need to somehow get it up to here. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I need to move some stuff and try to get it up here. But definitely going to move this bumper. I know that. Oh, this is going to be, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to set the camera up here and then you can just see the madness that's going to happen. It's going to come out here, I believe, through here. Okay. Time lapse commence. Now I know you're probably saying, $1,000 for all of that? That's a steal, and it is. I've had this thing listed for over a year, And everybody that wants it needs it for a 2010 or 2011 Camaro. Because 2010, 2011, the engines weren't good. This doesn't fit those engines. This fits a 2012 to a 15. I don't know what all's different on them, but I know the main difference is your exhaust ports here. The exhaust ports on the 10 and 11 was a regular header, like a 3 into 1. This, the header is integrated into the head with cooling jackets and stuff, and it has a single port out the side. So it's a big difference. It's not just a bolt up thing where you can just slap a newer engine in it. It don't work that way. And I'm even going to give him that ratchet strap with it. I don't care. Take it. But I think this is going to be it's still going to be a job to get this on a pickup truck. I mean, I got the lift table. I'm going to spin it around so we can get the transmission in there first. He said about bringing a hoist, but yeah, I don't know. I need to get the measurements on this now that I took one of those arms off. I definitely should fit in this truck now, but I could still take one of the control. I had to take one of the control arms or the steering arms off because it was just too wide to move. And I also cut off the ears of the subframe there because if he's putting it in a Camaro, obviously this subframe's not going to be compatible with it. It's not going to fit it. So, yeah, I think I have it set up now the way I want to send it. So, all right. Tomorrow we'll get back into the truck after this is gone. And $1,000 is $1,000. So I'm going to take that now while I can because I'm sick of it taking up space in my garage. Check it out, guys. I got a lift table. Awesome, huh? I finally sold that Cadillac engine. Those people came away from New York. Really nice people. Helped them load it on the back of the truck, which was a job with some ratchet straps. The lift table up the whole way, then a block of wood under that. And yeah, we got her. We got her. But yeah, I had to move some things around. So now I'm going to clean this up. I need to rearrange this garage. Once this truck is sold, I'm going to do a serious rearranging. But I got some products coming, some product reviews coming and stuff. A bunch of stuff coming up here. They're going to just be included in videos. A welder, more shop lights, stuff like that. But I got to get back onto this because I want to get this thing in primer. And it's nice out right now, so I'm going to get my bike out of here so I don't get it all nasty. I'm going to clean up a couple things here, rearrange, and then I'll get right back to you guys. All right, so now comes the boring part because I got this ready, other side's ready. I got to retape everything. I'm going to take this tape off because I got dust in it from sanding and stuff, so I'm going to redo that tape, redo the tape on the other side, and I'm going to get the whole cab mask off because I don't want to get overspray from this primer on it. Oh, I also got to do at least the front of the bed because I painted the front of the bed, you know, when I had it apart so that it, you know, was color matched. But I am going to be painting in the area where my color match is, so I don't want to get primer on that either. So let me get this. That's the boring part, just masking and taping and getting all this stuff ready. So I also need to wipe it down. It's dirty, so I'm going to do all this off camera, get it ready, and then it's probably going to be tomorrow, same video, we're going to get this thing in that thick primer, and that's going to help us level everything out on these doors. I'll block sand it after that, and then after that, we got to prep everything on the front of this truck because it's all getting painted. So next video, hopefully we'll be prepping. Not sure if we'll be ready yet, but we're going to be prepping everything, and very shortly after that, the whole cab is getting painted. I'm that close right now, so I want to get this front done. Then we can work on the bed. I got to take the bed cover off and stuff, but I'll get to that later whenever I get to that point. So I'm excited. We're moving in the right direction now on this thing instead of backwards. And then I made a little money today, so that kind of, you know, this is great. So let me mess this thing up. Get myself warmed up here, and I'll get back to you guys. Typically, I would use plastic drop cloths because they're cheap and I can get them at the hardware store here. Didn't have any, ran out. Hardware store's closed now. I had paper. I was just gonna wait until tomorrow. I was like, screw it, I'll just wait till tomorrow. I'll get some. I'm not spraying everything, and I got everything protected that I want protected. So I'm just gonna spray the high build primer on the doors. I'll probably get the fenders a little bit. I still have to wipe everything down. I still have to set the garage up the way I want it. Gonna try a different way. I think when I sprayed the BRZ, filters down here at the door was what got trash all through my paint. I had the vent fans on high. It was sucking the air through. I think it was blowing dirt up off the ground. Now I cleaned the ground and everything, but I think it was blowing dust up into my paint. So I think the next time when we paint this truck, typically I wasn't using the exhaust fans. I was just putting a box fan in the door and blowing air out, but there was no cross wind or whatever. I think what I'm going to do is over here on this side, I do have one window in the garage over here, and I have like a air conditioner hooked up. Now that's for like when I was painting, I would put that air conditioner on, and I got a dehumidifier going, and it cools the garage, and the garage actually stays cool. So I think I'm going to take that out of the window and put a filter in that window, and then put my vent fans on over there, and so that way we're having a crosswind coming from this side of the garage, and it's not concentrated in one area like here and there where it's got a strong draft through and it's blowing all that dust up. It's going to be sucking it from around the tarp and under the tarp, and there's actually a couple holes in it over there. So the crosswind, and it will also keep, I think, less fumes from getting over there and keep most of them over here, I think. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I also don't know that this stuff's going to make much overspray. Being a high build primer, you would think it wouldn't have as much overspray, but I don't know. Never sprayed a high build primer, so we're going to find out tomorrow when I do it. So I'll see you gents tomorrow. All right, kids, it's primer day. I'm a little wet. I had to drain that air conditioning unit over there. I got a better idea. Instead of putting a filter in there, I'm like, that air conditioner draws air from outside, brings it through the air conditioner, and blows it in here. So I just put the air conditioner on because that keeps humidity down. Also, my dehumidifier does. So that's going to draw air from the air conditioner because that's coming from outside. So I got to clean some things up here. Got my new gun out. I haven't used yet. I got to put some thread tape on a couple fittings there and put it together, but I already cleaned this thing out. When you buy a gun from Harbor Freight, first thing you want to do is clean it. they put like assembly oils or some sort of preservation oils or something inside there. Clean them. Okay, I use acetone, but you want to clean them out, because first time you go to spray, you're gonna be spraying them oils out and you're gonna get fish eyes and all kinds of weird stuff that you don't want. But I just thought for primer, I want to see how this works, the siphon feed. I don't know where I got the idea that I thought this was a better idea, but I'm gonna try it out. But it's got a 1.7 tip, which is one of the bigger tips I have. I think my HTE gun, oh, I put a smaller tip on that one. It had a 1.7 on it, and that thing would throw the paint. 1.7 is probably on the small side for a high fill primer, but I'm going to see how it works, because that's the biggest tip that I have. So don't get old, folks. Don't get old. So I've been fighting back problems on and off for many years. It hit me yesterday when I was taping this thing up and putting I wasn't even doing anything strenuous, but I was like putting the paper on there and stuff, and I was leaned over it, and then my back just started hurting again. So I'm gonna look into hopefully a resolution surgery, hopefully, just because it put me down last night, and I went and got myself a brace to help it, which helps a little bit. But yeah, I got compressed discs. It's not fun. That is one thing that my family blessed me with. Good genetics. My pap had back surgery, my dad had back surgery, and thankfully I've carried on the tradition, and I have back problems. Anyways, that's enough chit chat for now. I get back to you, we're gonna be ready to spray.
Alright guys, so I'm not having such a good time spraying it with the 1.7 tip, and it seems like it wants to clog the gun after so long. I'm going to try to thin it. I'm going to put a little bit of thinner in this, just to thin it down just a little bit, and see if I can spray it better. Alright, I thinned some out, I mixed it in with this, so it's a little bit more runny. I'm hoping that's going to help. All I did was put some standard urethane reducer. I'll put some standard urethane reducer in here. I hope it works. It all mixed up fine. So we're going to find out.
So that did indeed put a nice thick coat of primer on this thing. Thinning it down didn't hurt it, and it dries very fast. As soon as I got done finishing the door, I seriously could have went back to the top and started spraying it again. So it's a fast setting high build primer, which made it nice, and it lets you lay it on pretty thick. Ultimately, should have had a bigger tip on there, could have laid it on way thicker without thinning it down, but you know, it is what it is, and it turned out pretty good actually. Mixing this stuff up, you're not going to want to try to use a paint stick. It's going to take you forever, because it was taking me forever. Then I got out the wand I have for my drill, and that still took forever, but it mixed it up quicker than what it would have been if I would have sat there with the freaking stick and tried to mix it up. So only thing I'm noticing is it left a lot of like loose spray off the edges, so it's just like dust but stuck to the fender. This whole fender needs sanded anyway, so this is no big deal. And where this is really going to come in handy is over here where I still had levels of paint in areas. I'm going to be able to hopefully level them out. So you can see, I can see some of the swirl marks in it here, but like right here, whether it picks up or not, you can see different layers of paint, and I'll be able to sand that down, hopefully the level, to get that where you won't be able to see those levels at. Over here I see it too, right there. So hopefully we'll be able to sand that down, and honestly it's almost, it's still soft right there. Okay, I just put a fingerprint in it, but I'll be able to sand that out. But yeah, it's set up pretty quick, and this is the last area I sprayed, so it probably is still soft. Anyways, I'm going to leave this, and next episode we'll get into it, because next episode I'm prepping everything. So all these parts, hood, yeah, we need to clean it up and sand it again, get it prepped and ready for paint. Fenders need prepped, and then the doors is where we're going to have most of the work, because we got to level those out. So I'm going to be block sanding both doors with, should be using 320 since we're painting over top of it. I'm actually going to put sealer over top of it, but we'll try to block sand it with a 400 and see how it turns out. Hopefully that works out and I don't have to get down into coarser sandpaper, because if I get into coarser sandpaper, then you have to go about sanding it again afterwards and hoping that you get all the sand scratches out so it doesn't show up in your paint. But if this all works out, these bed sides, which I don't think we're going to be able to level them with this stuff, I think there's a lot of paint on these. So we're going to try to level these bed sides out, and I'm going to block sand them with a coarse sandpaper. Then we're going to go over them with this high build primer, and then we're going to have to block them again, hopefully get them somewhat in shape. I don't think this thing is going to look like a brand new truck when it's done, but I think it's going to look really, really good. Man, my mask line is freaking awesome. Check that out. As for this gun, worked good. Like I said, bigger tip, but cleaning wise, didn't like it, because it's like a lot of work cleaning this thing. So I did put gun cleaner through it already, and you got to clean this tub, and then you got to clean the tube, and you got to clean. It's a lot more cleaning involved in that than just taking the gun apart, cleaning the top part, and you're done. So although I don't like it as much, it still worked pretty good for spraying this primer. But that's going to be the end of this episode. So if you guys like this episode, hit that like button, consider subscribing, but hit that dislike button if your mom likes it on top better. The gun. And we'll see you on the next episode of Alright.
Are you so excited? Did I come in? Look at you. Oh my. Yeah, get mommy sneakers. Get them.
Pick this poop pellet up.
Get
Yeah, get mommy sneakers. Get them. What are you doing?
He's hungry.
He's ornery. You're ornery.
Well, Shadow's putting the next he's hungry.
Oh my. Mommy trapped your brother in there. Are you hungry? Oh my, he's num-numming. You that hungry? Oh. What are you doing? That's what he does when he's hungry. Stew man, where's yours? Stewie, where's yours at? He gets treats. Maine Coons eat more. Comes your treats. And Stella won't even come over.
Oh, here.
She's like, bring them to me. What a princess.